ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
So good morning. Now we discussed already about pure resistive circuit, pure inductor circuit, pure capacitive circuit, combinations LR circuit, LC circuit, RC circuit. Now the combination of three LCR circuit. LCR circuit. So inductor, capacitor, resistor, these three are connected in series to the alternating signal. The alternating signal is connected to inductor, capacitor and resistor. These three are in series. So what is the, here it is E is equals to E naught sin omega t. So alternating EMF. Here an alternating signal is connected to series LCR circuit. Series LCR circuit. So the potential across this is potential across the inductor, and here the potential is Vc, and here the potential is Vr. So the total potential is equals to sum of individual potentials. If the applied voltage is, if the applied potential, voltage or potential, everything is same. Applied potential is DC. If the applied potential is DC, DC in the sense direct current or direct voltage. So DC, then the total potential is equals to sum of individual potentials. Total potential is equals to sum of individual potentials. But it is not DC. This is AC, alternating current. This is alternating current. Then how can we find out the resultant potential? So now for that we have to do, what we have to do? First we must draw the phasor diagram. We must draw the phasor diagram. So what is the phasor diagram? The diagram represents the phase relation between the alternating EMF and alternating current. So let us say I am considering current along x-axis. I am considering current along x-axis. So first come to the inductor. If only inductor is connected to the circuit, only inductor is connected to the circuit, what happens? There must be a phase difference between the EMF and current is pi by 2. Phase difference between the EMF and current is pi by 2. Which one leads here? EMF leads. So EMF leads by an angle pi by 2. That's why VL must be represented upward direction. VL must be represented in the upward direction because EMF across the inductor leads the current by an angle pi by 2. Next, come to the capacitor. If only capacitor is connected to the circuit, only capacitor is connected to the circuit, what happens? Definitely there must be a phase difference between the EMF and current. What is that? Pi by 2 phase difference, 90 degrees. But here current leads by an angle pi by 2. Current leads by an angle pi by 2. That's why I am representing Vc like this. Let us say this positive x-axis is the current direction. If the EMF leads, then that is positive y-axis. If the EMF lags by an angle 90, then that is negative y-axis. This is positive y-axis and this is negative y-axis. Next, when the pure resistor is connected to the circuit, if the pure resistor is connected in the circuit, what happens? If the pure resistor is connected in the circuit, then EMF and current must be in phase. EMF and current must be in phase. So that's why this is the phasor diagram for this LCR circuit. Three potentials here. Three potentials. Potential across the inductor, potential across the capacitor, and potential across the resistor. Here, first case, so potential across inductor. What is the potential across inductor? So, but inductor, so that is equals to VL is equals to I into XL, where XL is called what? Inductive reactance, where XL is equals to inductive reactance. So that is the potential across the inductor. So that means what is XL? Inductive, that opposition offered for the flow of current. What is XL here? Opposition for the flow of electric current through the inductor, that is called inductive reactance. Next, what is the potential across capacitor? VC is equals to IXC, where XC is capacitive reactance. XC is the capacitive reactance. All of you know about this, but once we call this, VC is the IXC, XC is the capacitive reactance. So opposition for the flow of alternating current through the capacitor is called capacitive reactance. Resistor, potential across resistor. So VR is equals to IR. So where R is the resistance, See, these are the value, these are the potentials across the inductor, capacitor and resistor. You know all of these. So this one. So three potentials we have. Three at a time. How can you calculate the three potential resultant of three potentials? Here these potentials are the phasor quantities, not the scalar quantities. If these are the scalar quantities, directly we can write sum of individual potentials. That condition exists only for direct current here, but here it is the alternating current. That's why direct addition is not possible. So that's why here we must consider certain cases. First case here. So this is the phasor diagram and these are the potentials. Remember these potentials, and this is the circuit diagram. LCR circuit. Series combination of LCR circuit. So here we have three conditions in this. This is the phasor diagram. Again I will draw this here. So this is I and potential this VR, and it is VL and it is VC. So first case, if VL is greater than VC, then the phasor diagram becomes like this. So this is VL minus VC and it is VR and it is current. If potential across the inductor is greater than the potential across the capacitor, potential across the conductor is greater than inductor. Potential across the inductor is greater than potential across capacitor, then this VL minus VC upwards and it is VR. So then net potential E can be written as square root of, what is the angle between these two? 90 degrees. So therefore VR square plus VL minus VC whole square. This is the net potential. then IE is equals to square root of IR whole square plus IXL minus IXC whole square. I common, I square, R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So therefore E is equals to I into under root R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Therefore from this I can be written as E by square root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. I is equals to E by R square plus XL minus XC. Therefore impedance of the circuit, total impedance of the circuit here, impedance Z can be written as under root, so that is generally it is considered as E by Z. So therefore Z is equals to R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So total impedance of the circuit is equals to, what is Z is equals to R square under root R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So this is the total impedance, and this can also be written as Z is equals to under root R square plus XL L omega minus 1 by C omega whole square. L omega minus 1 by C omega whole square. So this is how this impedance varies. If the alternating frequency omega can be written as 2 pi f here, if omega can be written as 2 pi f, if the frequency alternating frequency increases, if alternating frequency increases, inductive reactance also increases, inductive reactance is L omega also increases. If alternating frequency increases, capacitive reactance decreases, because f increases 1 by f, denominator increases, the total fraction decreases. So that's why L omega minus 1 by C omega. So that's why if alternating frequency increases, impedance of the circuit also increases. So if alternating frequency increases, then impedance of the circuit also increases. Impedance of the circuit also increases. So this is the situation here. So that means here VL minus VC, that means potential across the inductor is greater than potential across the capacitor. So this circuit acts as, inductor dominant circuit, because inductor plays more important role when compared to the capacitor, because the potential difference across the inductor is greater than potential difference across the capacitor. That's why this circuit acts as inductor dominant circuit. This is the effective, this is VL minus VC. So let us say this is the effective E is equals to I into under root R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So that means, so what is the phase difference now? So this is the impedance and this is the net EMF, like that. Now we have to calculate what is the phase difference between the EMF and current here. So what is the phase difference here? This is the phase difference. So from this tan phi can be written as opposite side by adjacent side. What is opposite side here? VL minus VC. VL minus VC divided by VR. So therefore tan phi is equals to IXL minus IXC divided by IR. So therefore XL minus XC divided by R. So from this phi is equals to tan inverse L omega minus 1 by C omega divided by R. So this is the phase angle in case of this one. What is the phase difference between the EMF and current when potential across the inductor is greater than the potential across the capacitor? In this situation, what is the phase difference here? This is phi equals to tan inverse L omega minus 1 by C omega divided by R. Now, so here phi is phase difference between EMF and phase difference between EMF and current. Phi is the phase difference between EMF and current. So now which one leads here? So this is the direction of the current, but this is the direction of the EMF. Then definitely it is in the positive direction. So here angle must be measured in anti-clockwise direction. So that's why this is positive. So that means which one leads here? EMF leads by an angle phi than current. EMF leads by an angle phi than current. So this is the situation. What is the power consumed? Power factor. What is the power factor here? What is the power factor? Power factor can be written as cos phi is equals to, what is the power factor? Cos phi. Cos phi is equals to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side by hypotenuse. That's why VR by E. So from this cos phi is equals to VR is IR divided by E is I into square root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. I gets cancelled. Therefore cos phi is equals to R by under root R square plus XL minus XC whole square. This is the power factor. What is the power factor? Then power consumed. What is the power consumed? Power consumed. P is equals to ERMS into IRMS into cos phi. So just we have to substitute the value of cos phi, and we know the ERMS and IRMS because E is equals to E naught sin omega t we considered. Then we got I is equals to I naught sin omega t. So if you know the peak values of the EMF and current, then we can find out ERMS and IRMS. Easy to calculate the ERMS and IRMS. So this is the situation here. So this is the power factor, and this is the phase difference between the EMF and current. When this situation, if VL is greater than VC, potential across the inductor is greater than potential across the capacitor. Now one more thing here. What we are writing, E is equals to E naught sin omega t. Okay, E is equals to E naught sin omega t, but I is equals to also I naught sin omega t. So but I is equals to here E naught by Z sin of omega t minus phi. Why it is minus phi? Because EMF leads by an angle phi. EMF leads by an angle phi. That means current lags by an angle phi. So just here I am considering E is equals to E naught sin omega t. That is the initial situation we considered. But finally we got current lags by an angle phi. Current lags by an angle phi. So that's why I can be written as E naught by Z sin of omega t minus phi. Current only lagging. Maybe otherwise we can say that EMF leads. Both are correct. We can say that EMF leads or current lags. Both will correct. So that's why the sine of omega t minus phi, because it is not possible to change this, because it is the applied potential, applied alternating EMF. So E is equals to E naught sine omega t. Finally we got what we conclude, that EMF leads by an angle phi. EMF leads by an angle phi. So that's why I am writing current lags by an angle phi. Both are correct. So this is the situation. What is Z? Impedance of the circuit. That is the first situation. Next, second case here is in LCR circuit. What is the second case? So here second case is if Vc is greater than VL. So that means potential across the capacitor is greater than potential across the inductor. Potential across the capacitor is greater than potential across the inductor. Then what happens? So that means capacitive reactance is greater than inductive reactance. Capacitive reactance is greater than inductive reactance. Then what happens? What we can do now? Then what we can do here? Here, what is the phasor diagram becomes? So this is I and this is VR, no change here, and this becomes Vc minus VL. So here Vc is greater than VL, that's why the shape of the phasor diagram like this. This is VR and this is Vc minus VL. So what is the net potential? E can be written as under root VR square. Why we are writing here? The angle is 90 degrees. Vc minus VL whole square. VR square plus under root Vc minus VL whole square. Vc minus VL whole square. So here from this V can be written as VR again IR whole square plus IXC minus IXL whole square. I comes out R square plus XC minus XL whole square. So therefore I is equals to E by under root R square plus XC minus XL whole square. So that means I is equals to E by Z. What is the impedance of the circuit? What is the impedance of the circuit? So Z is equals to under root R square plus XC minus XL whole square. Impedance of the circuit Z is equals to R square plus XC minus XL whole square. So this is the situation. So here the angle, this is the direction of E, and it makes an angle phi like this. So this is impedance of the circuit. Now here, and this can also be written as under root R square plus 1 by C omega minus L omega whole square. 1 by C omega minus 1 by L omega. So what is omega here? Omega can be written as 2 pi f. Here if f value increases, what happens to the impedance here? If f value increases, that is 1 by C into 2 pi f minus L into 2 pi f. This is the situation. If f increases here, if f increases, this total value decreases, and here f increases, this value increases. So this means the impedance of the circuit decreases here due to the increase in the alternating frequency. Impedance value decreases, right or wrong? The previous case 2 pi f minus this one, but here 1 by c into 2 pi f minus L into 2 pi f. If f value increases, here the denominator increases, that means the total value must decreases because it is in the denominator. For example, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4 like that. So, this is 0.5, this is 0.3, this is 0.25, that is why. So, that means if the denominator goes and increases, the total value must be decreases. So, this value decreasing and this value increases. Because of increase in alternating frequency, this value increases. So, that means the impedance of the circuit decreases. If f value increases, impedance of the circuit decreases. If f value increases, impedance of the circuit decreases. And here this circuit acts as how it acts? Capacitor dominant circuit. This circuit acts as capacitor dominant circuit. Capacitor dominant circuit. So, this circuit acts as the capacitor dominant circuit. This is the situation. Next, here also we can find out phase difference and it's a power factor. Phase difference and power factor here. How it will be? So, here first phase difference, tan phi can be written as tan phi is equals to opposite side by adjacent side. What is the opposite side here? Vc minus VL. Vc minus VL divided by adjacent side is VR. So, therefore, tan phi is equals to IXC minus IXL divided by IR. So, tan phi is equals to XC minus XL by R. Phi is equals to tan inverse 1 by C omega minus L omega by R. Phi is equals to tan inverse 1 by C omega minus L omega by R. This is the phase difference between this phase of phi. What is phi here? Phi is phase difference between EMF and current. And which one leads here? This is the direction of the current and this is the direction of the EMF, and this one is phi. So, that means EMF lags. So, that means EMF lags or current leads. Current leads by an angle phi than EMF. Current leads by an angle phi than EMF. So, this is the situation. Now, what is the power factor here? Power factor cos phi is equals to adjacent side by hypotenuse. So, that is VR by E. So, that is IR divided by I into under root R square plus XC minus XL whole square. So, therefore, cos phi is equals to R divided by square root of R square plus XC minus XL whole square. This is the power factor. Cos phi is equals to R by square root of R square plus XC minus XL whole square. So, this is power factor. Then power consumed. What is the amount of power consumed here? Power consumed is equals to P is equals to ERMS IRMS into cos phi. Just substitute the value of cos phi, then we can get this. So, definitely by using the inductor and capacitor, definitely power consumed in the circuit must be reduced. Power consumed in the circuit must be reduced. So that is the situation here. So this is the second case. If XL is VC is greater than VL, potential across the capacitor is greater than the potential across the inductor, what happens here? All this is this. Then now so that is the phase difference and power factor, everything. So two cases we discussed. Third case and one more case here it is. So third situation is, same, you know this VL is equals to VC, that means L is equals to VC, that means XL is equals to XC. Two cases, this one is greater than this one, first case, this one is greater than this one, second case. Third case, what is the situation? Equal condition. If XL is equals to XC, this is I and this is VR. So both will cancel with each other. If these two will cancel with each other, then here the circuit acts as pure resistive circuit. So that means the potential across the inductor, is equal to potential across the capacitor. Potential across the inductor is equal to potential across the capacitor. Then the circuit acts as pure resistive circuit. So that means these potentials must be cancelled. Then this acts as pure resistive circuit. Pure resistive circuit means EMF E is equals to IR. Then I is equals to E by R, that means Z is equals to R. That means the impedance of the circuit here, what is the impedance of the circuit? Nothing but R. Impedance of the circuit is R. Now the phase difference between EMF and current is 0. Now if XL is equals to XC, that means VL is equals to VC, the circuit acts as the pure resistive. In case of pure resistive circuit, the phase difference between the EMF and current is equal to 0. EMF and current must be equal to 0. So that means the power consumed, what is the power factor? Power factor cos phi. So that is equals to cos 0. So that means maximum amount of power must be consumed. Maximum amount of power is consumed here. Maximum amount of power is consumed. So that means power consumed is equals to, simply we can write ERMS into IRMS into cos phi. Cos phi value is 1. So that's why ERMS into IRMS. This is the third case. The power consumed in the system must be equal to maximum. And this condition is called resonance condition. So this situation is called resonance condition. This situation is called resonance condition. Then in this situation, the current passes through the system is maximum. Current passes through the system is maximum. Here current passes through the circuit is maximum. So in case of resonance condition, the current passing through the circuit is maximum, because actual formula is, current formula is E by square root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Here XL is equals to XC, this becomes 0 here. So this term becomes 0. If this term becomes 0, what is the remaining value? Only E by R. That means the impedance decreases. Due to the decreasing in the impedance, the current passes through the circuit is maximum. Current passes through the circuit is maximum. This is the condition. So this is LCR circuit and 3 conditions. And third condition is called resonance condition. Resonance condition. What is meant by the resonance condition? Blindly you have to remember that. In case of this alternating current, resonance condition in the sense, inductive reactance must be equal to the capacitive reactance, or the potential across the inductor must be equal to potential across the capacitor. So that is called resonance condition. In that resonance condition, current passes through the circuit is maximum. Current passes through the circuit is maximum and maximum amount of power also consumed. So that is this is the situation here. So LCR circuit, 3 conditions. So how can you calculate the impedance of the circuit? So in case of LCR circuit, see here, this is L and this is C and this is R. This is alternating signal L, C, R. How can you calculate the impedance of the circuit? Impedance of the circuit. Simply, what is the impedance? Impedance of the circuit. Impedance of circuit. First we have to calculate inductive reactance L omega. So that is L into 2 pi f. If the alternating frequency is mentioned, first we have to do this. Next, capacitive reactance 1 by C omega. 1 by C into omega is 2 pi f. How can you calculate the impedance of the circuit is, first we have to calculate XL and second we have to calculate XC. So then find out X is equals to XL, Z is equals to under root R square plus X square. What is X? XL difference XC. XL difference XC. So that is R square plus X square. R square plus X square. What is X? This one. How can you calculate the current? Current is equals to E divided by Z, or I naught is equals to E naught by Z, or I RMS is equals to E RMS divided by Z, anything it is. After calculating the impedance of the circuit, now we can calculate these values. I is equals to E by Z, or I naught equals to E by Z, or I RMS equals to, these are the instantaneous current and EMF, peak values of current and EMF, RMS values of current and EMF. So this is the way to do the problem this. How can you calculate the phase differences? Tan phi value. So we have already two conditions, whether VL is greater than VC or VC is greater than VL, and we can calculate the power factors, anything like this. So these are the steps to calculate the impedance and current or EMF, anything we can calculate based on this data. So this is LCR circuit.